Hello! Thank you for joining me for another beer review then. So today we've got a beer from Elusive Brewing, and this is their Oregon Trail. I've been wanting to try this beer for quite a while. So it's a West Coast IPA then, and it's coming in at 5.8% ABV. So these guys are out of Finch Hampstead, not too far from Reading. I reviewed a few beers from these guys before, but this one I've been wanting to try for a long time because I've had some really good things about it over probably the last year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I don't know when they first brewed this, but yeah. Um, so it's got the old West Coast kind of style thing going on there. So and it's won multiple awards as well. So World 2021 World Beer Awards United Kingdom winner. So Elusive Brewing creates beers with one eye on tradition and the other eye on taking things to the next level. I mean, there's a lot of things with these guys. It's very kind of video gamey, kind of pixelated, kind of 80s retro style sort of stuff. So this is a classically styled West Coast IPA. Simcoe, Chinook and Columbus hops combine to deliver a resinous profile with citrus undertones. I don't really want to go any more than that because it gives a little bit too much away. But let's crack it open then and see what we get out of this. We've gone for some dodgy brewery in Manchester Glass. I'm joking, of course, but yeah. So I thought I'd go for that one. I just fancied a Craft Master basically for this one. So purchased at Trembling Madness by a lot of my beers that will be coming up will be from there. So, but I've heard this is a really decent West Coast style, modern West Coast style IPA. Which, I mean, I remember, as I've said before in other reviews, I'll leave it like that. There's a little bit left in the can. I want to get my nose in there and give it a good sniff. Just give it a little tap because there's a little bit of unnecessary bubblage going on in that. So beer in the Craft Master glass then. So, I mean, if this was, to start off, if this was 10 years ago, it wouldn't be as cloudy as this. So, I don't want to give it any kind of like, but we're going on appearance, yeah. So straight off the bat, it wouldn't be quite as hazy as that. It's got a half a finger, if that, of a fine white head on top of quite a nice looking beer. But yeah, 10 years ago, it wouldn't be that hazy. Into the light then, it's hazy, but you can see through the glass. There's a gentle carbonation running up through the beer, kind of deal. Swirl and a sniff then. It's quite dank, to be fair to it. It's quite dank. It's got citrusy, light citrus, almost like pear drop kind of aroma. Nothing crazy, nothing jumping out of the glass. It's not that New England vibe. It's nothing like that. It's a little, as I say, it's a little bit dank, but nothing crazy. I'm not getting crazy amounts of pine or anything like that. It's just a light citrusiness with a slight dank edge. It's straight out of the fridge, so maybe during the course of the review it will change, but we'll see how it goes. Let's give it a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers. Okay. Wow, okay. Quite a nice rasping bitterness to it, which is always a good sign. When was this canned? Does it give all that sort of spiel? Best before end of May of 2023, store cold. So I don't know, it doesn't really give you, there's no guile or when it was canned or anything like that. They've definitely brewed this multiple times. It's somewhere I actually want to go to at some point to their little tap. Apparently it's a very small premises they have. My good friend Rob informs me and a few others. But yeah, it's only like 25 minutes outside of London, so I don't know why I've not been there. Just a quick look on Untapped. It's 60 IBUs for this beer, and you're getting that. So it's definitely for a more modern West Coast beer. It's definitely more bitter than a lot of other modern West Coast IPAs. I can say that straight out loud. Leaving a little bit of lace in there, which is always kind of nice to see. Let's pour the rest of this can in then. It's going to haze up too much from what it was before. But it's definitely giving that kind of marmalade-y edge on camera. But so far, not getting it on the flavour. Very clean. Definitely getting a rasping bitterness the more you drink it, which is really nice. There's a slight kind of jammy edge to it, but not marmalade-y. It's slightly dank. But then I think this beer will get better as it warms up from fridge temperature. It opens up a little bit of air gets to it and all that kind of deal. This is literally 20 minutes out of the fridge and bang, turn the camera on, kind of review kind of deal. So, but yeah, I have to say, it's definitely one of the more bitter West Coast IPAs I've had this year. I've had one or two, but they're getting a little bit more of my flavour profiles these days because basically my palate is getting completely saturated with these. As good as they are, the New England style, my palate wants to go back old school, and this has actually reminded me quite a lot of that, just for the amount of bitterness in this. I mean, I think 60 is quite tame compared to, say, 10 years ago. Anything below 70 or 80 was quite low then. This is 60, and this is quite high now, if you know, that kind of deal. But it's definitely one that I've wanted to try for a long time. I'm glad I finally got round to getting my backside into gear and purchasing a can. And this is, it might not be everyone's cup of tea if you're new to craft beer. But if you're like me, you're a little bit old school, you know, with West Coast beers, say 10 years plus, then you're going to really appreciate this. I think, personally, if you want to go full in for a West Coast double IPA, 90 IBUs and above, smash it. But that's just me. I guess that, you know, at the end of the day, there's also a market out there that it's a business and you need to sell stuff. If things are too bitter, people aren't going to buy it. So there is a lot of that kind of deal going on, so which I completely understand and appreciate. But not everyone's got a palate like me. So, but overall, what a fantastic beer. It's got some really kind of love, apart from the bitterness and sappiness and all that. Not sappiness, but the rinds and stuff. Some real nice, sharp grapefruit, pithy grapefruit, bitter, which works hand in hand. A fantastic beer, I have to say. If I see this anywhere again, I will buy a can or try it on cask. It's definitely one for me. It's more where my taste buds are trying to flow back to be honest with you. And it's really refreshing to see a modern West Coast IPA with that bite, that kind of kick of bitterness that generally within the scene these days is quite lacking, because they're trying to do a West Coast IPA for the New England palate. Anyway, enough waffle from me. Let me know if you've had this one before. I think it's one of the best ones I've tried in the last, well, since the old school days. I think it's definitely on that level. Whether you're going to get any more modern West Coast IPAs that are bitter than this going forward, be quite interesting to see. But anyway, enough waffle from me. It's nearly 10 minutes in. So if you watch this far, if you're new, please subscribe, give us a like on the way out, and I'll see you on the next review. Cheers.